Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the Third Eagle of the Apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times. Recently, a YouTuber asked me if I thought the Antichrist would take away the holidays that we celebrate. For example, Christmas, New Year's, even St. Patrick's Day or Memorial Day, July the 4th, Thanksgiving, and so on. There are many both national and religious holidays that we celebrate. Will the Antichrist take these celebrations away from us? And I thought at first that this might be a rather silly question because who really cares what the Antichrist does? We can celebrate them anyway. But the Bible does say that the Antichrist will change times and laws and seasons. So maybe we should take a closer look at Daniel chapter 7, verse 27. And so Daniel writes, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High." Now the he in this case is the Antichrist. "And shall wear out the saints of the Most High." Now these saints are a specific group. These are the protected Catholics. Remember, the raptured Protestants are already in heaven attending the marriage supper of the Lamb. "And think to change times and laws." Now the times sometimes is translated as seasons in some Bibles. I think both are good translations. "And they shall be given unto his hand until a time, times, and half a time." Now this 3.5 year time period is the same as the 42 months which St. John speaks of in Revelation. This is the last half of the Great Tribulation period, the time in which the Antichrist assumes control of the one world communist tyranny. First, we need to note that the Antichrist hates the number 5, which is Mary's number, and the number 7, which is God's number. He must be satisfied with the number which God has assigned to him, and that is the number 6. Therefore, he will seek to have mankind worship that particular number. Now, in my opinion, the first thing he will try to do is change the number of days in a week. In our Judeo-Christian heritage, we have always recognized 7 days because that is from the book of Genesis. But I believe the Antichrist will change our week to 6 days because that would bring honor to himself. And I believe this will be a very popular move because I believe the day he will eliminate is Monday. And of course, everyone would just as soon see a week without a Monday in it. I believe he will also cut the work week from 5 days to 4 days. This will also be a very popular maneuver. So now that we have 6 days in a week, how many weeks will there be in a month? Again, I think the Antichrist will put 6 weeks in a month. So now we have 6 and 6, 2/3 of the number he wants. However, with 36 days in a month, we can no longer have 12 months in a year. And we can't have 6 months because that would give us far too few days. Therefore, I believe he will settle on 10 months, which would give us 360 days. He will undoubtedly add a big celebration at the end of the year, in his honor, of course, which will take the place of Christmas and New Year's. So he still needs one more 6. And I think he will achieve his number, 666, by having 6 seasons. Now, we already have 4 seasons, at least in the North Temperate Zone. In the tropics, however, they only have 3 seasons, and in some countries they have more than 6 seasons. So now we see how the Antichrist will achieve 666 by changing times and seasons. So which holidays will the Antichrist allow or disallow? Certainly he won't allow holidays like the 4th of July or Memorial Day. However, he will allow holidays like May Day, which is a big communist celebration, and of course, Lenin's birthday. Now in this country, you may not realize it, but we already celebrate Lenin's birthday, which we call Earth Day. That will also be a big celebration in the one world communist tyranny of the Antichrist. But what will he do with probably the most popular holiday we have, and that's Christmas? Here, the Bible gives us an interesting clue. When Enoch and Elijah are assassinated by the one world communist tyranny, the people on earth send gifts to each other. A lot of Bible scholars believe that means that they will be killed during the Christmas holidays. If that is true, the Antichrist will make a big deal about this, and he will call it victory over injustice or something like that. That will be his big Christmas holiday. Now, actually, we already see this in the White House this year. They are not having a Christmas tree. The Obamas are insisting on a holiday tree. And of course, as we know, Obama is a precursor of the Antichrist. He is not the Antichrist himself, but what he is doing is very much the same things that the Antichrist will do. I've already mentioned what day the Antichrist will delete from our calendar, but which 2 months will he eliminate? Now here's where it gets interesting. I believe the 2 months he will eliminate are October and November. Why would he eliminate those months? Because he knows that those are the months for Armageddon. Jesus will return in October, November of 2017. The Antichrist will believe that if he eliminates those months, perhaps Jesus will not return. I also believe the Antichrist will change the years so that 2017 will never occur, at least not for hundreds of years. I believe he will make the first date of his new regime to be the year 666. So now this is where you come in. What will you do during the second half of the tribulation when the Antichrist is making all these changes? You will have to keep a calendar of your own. You will need a calendar so you will know when the Sabbath day comes. You will also need a calendar to know when the real holidays like Christmas and Easter arrive. And you will need to know when Jesus will return in October, November of 2017. And if you would like more information or a copy of my free book, simply write to the address you see on your screen.